At 2 Point Hospital, over 52% of our patients believe they leave healthier than when they arrived. Our precisely calibrated equipment is operated by compassionate healthcare practitioners, many of whom have even been to medical school or watched ER. If you suffer from turtle head, let us ease your worries and noggin gently out of your body. Chest infection is no laughing matter. Put your trust and oversized shoes in our capable hands. We're building a brighter, safer future, and hardly anything will stand in our way. You deserve the best. So join us at 2 Point Hospital. We're open for new staff, new patients, and a new you. Can I go play golf yet? I'm teeing off at 3.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm back here with another 2 Point Thursday video, and it's actually been a little while since the first two installments of this series, but today's is certainly an important one as I'm going to be completing our very first hospital in this game, Hogsport, exactly where we are now and exactly where we've been working since the start of this series. And then towards the end of today's video we're going to move on to our second ever hospital, which is named Lower Bullocks. But for now I'm going to be sprucing up and completing our hospital, and I'm going to be doing that by adding some extra benches, plants, and even some snack and drink machines just to liven it up a little bit here at our first hospital in Hogsport. And I'm also going to be trying to make it a 3-star hospital, and to do so we have to fill 3 separate tasks. They are as follows: cure 30 patients. We've currently cured 23, now 24. You can see we're progressing quite well with that challenge. We've got to earn 400,000, 207,200 remaining on that one, and then arguably the more difficult of the three, the latter, increase the hospital value to 750,000. That's not going to be easy, as it currently stands at 444,945. At the moment, I'm currently searching around for a doctor, as we have quite a crisis at the moment. One of our 2 lightheadedness clinics, or deluxe clinics, as you can call them, currently has a queue of 5 people. The other one doesn't even have a doctor there, so we do need to try and source a doctor, because at the moment we are taking in an influx of lightheadedness patients. And as I'm sure you can see, the ones that are in this challenge, and the challenge is to cure a certain amount of patients with lightheadedness, as we've taken them from another hospital. If we manage to cure all of these, is the ones with their sirens above their heads. You have 90 days to do it, and we have to cure 7, I do believe it is. We've cured 4 already, and we have to cure 3 more to complete the challenge. I've just placed another clinic there, and it's quite fitting, actually, that we've got quite a few of these deluxe clinics, as it is the first of the weird and wonderful clinics with fantastic animations from the machines that you can get in the game. So it's quite fitting to have quite a few of those in this hospital. But we are trying to complete this challenge, as we will get a cash prize for it, but we've still got to cure 2 more people, and we've got just 20 days left now. 70 out of 90 have passed. We still have 2 more to sort out, and I think we are going to fail this one, as I'm currently placing some drink snack machines, salty snack machines along the wall over there. Might as well add in a plant or 2 around here. Sadly, we are quite limited when it comes to what we can do. With it being our first hospital, we haven't unlocked that many different customization options, so I'm pretty much stuck to just using benches, plants, leaflet stands, and, well, anything else I can pretty much find, including some snack machines. We've got a staff promotion to sort out. The inspection went reasonably well, so that's pretty solid for ourselves. Unfortunately, we still have 1 more person to cure with the lightheadedness challenge, and yes, we are unfortunately going to fail that one. We're going to fall short of that cash prize. We are going to go with Jack's Stud as a new nurse. We do need to increase our workforce. Oh dear, someone has just died. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to be a ghost now. Slightly more of an issue that they're a ghost. I mean, it doesn't really matter that they've died on the floor. It's just they're going to haunt us as a ghost. We also do need another doctor. We are struggling at the moment, like the NHS is, with doctors and so on. Hopefully, I mean, it might be an absolute tragic game at times with how bad the hospitals can be, but I'm sure we can do a better job at the moment than the UK can. Either way, we do probably want to go for another doctor at some point, and we are going to go for another doctor. We're going to throw them straight into the action, potentially. No, we can't actually throw them into anywhere. We have a slight issue, though. Dr. Sally Quack resigned in a previous episode, and she hasn't left her office, and she's taking up the office at the moment. So there's no way I can seem to get her out of there without selling the room. We're going to have to do that, and now she storms off. I'd be quite annoyed if you can't get out of a room after being sacked. And we are going to copy this room over here and then move that over there. But I'm having quite a disaster at the moment. I've selected the GP's office and I thought I hadn't. I clicked off it. We are really struggling. We don't want the bench. I don't want a bench over there. I'd like another GP's office, and we are going to plant that right next to the chemist. And as a result, we have a couple of GP officers sorted. In terms of staff promotion, I am going to promote someone else. We've got the failure with the lightheadedness challenge, a bit of a shame there. A patient death, which means we're going to have to sort that out. We're going to have to remove the ghost using a ghost removing janitor. Certainly got some of them, and Sally Quack has resigned at the moment. So, moving along, we aren't actually doing that much of sprucing up the hospital because I'm having to sort out some issues at the moment. We do need another doctor. We've got Melinda Scream in there. She'll be screaming once she's the ghost in the hospital running around. Sam Spatula. Oh, surely we've got to go for him. Mr. Spatula. Oh, what a last name. You've got to love the last names. I cannot think of a pun for his last name at the moment, but still, it's just hilarious, some of these last names. We are going to add in a bin next to our vending machines. At the moment, we're going incredibly well when it comes to the hospital value. 631,114. So that's certainly promising, to say the least. If we can keep that up, we'll be at 750,000 in no time. I am now going to place a couple of benches along here. This is quite an empty area of the hospital, so I do want to change it around a little bit, make it a bit more interesting for our patients and visitors. I don't exactly want to place 4 benches in a row next to each other. That would look a little bit weird. I've got an idea for a weird bench installment. We might attempt that in a second. We could place a plant potentially over there. Yeah, we're going to do exactly that. And we're going to sort out a couple more in a second. Fire extinguishers, got to have a couple of them. Bit empty in the bottom corner over there. So we'll place that next to the staff room, just in case someone spills some extremely warm coffee on the floor and they set the carpet on fire. I can't see that happening, but anything can happen. We're at 2 Point Hospital. We're removing light bulbs from people's heads, so you never know. One of those could spark a fire. You need your fire extinguishers to put it out. We're putting a couple of benches over there, and then we're going to place a nice plant in between them so you can sit down and get wrestled by a bunch of leaves. Exactly what you want for your experience, but you can see what you have is this heat map, and that is showing you the happiness sort of levels you're going to be getting from people who are around plants and other nice installments in the hospital. Speaking of installments, we're going to try and place a couple of benches in a second round here. I'm thinking of a square shape for benches. We're going to sort that out in a tad, and potentially placing a plant in the centre of that. As you can see, that's what we're going to try now. The bench is forming the edges of a square. I don't know if it's going to work, but it would certainly look nice if it did, so we might as well give it a go. Unfortunately, our hospital value has plummeted. I fear I may have employed a couple too many doctors and nurses. That's now dropping to 463, pretty much where we were at the start of the video, after reaching 600,000 odd, so very frustrating for ourselves. I'm just going to move this across. It isn't exactly central. You can't really get it central in the area we have. It's a bit of a funny shape anyway, but I would like to make it look a bit nicer. Might as well. And now, the moment of truth. Will it work? And it won't, unfortunately. It's not reachable, is the plant. So that's a bit of a shame because they can't water it, and I suppose didn't really think about that. So as a result, we are going to have to change that around in a minute. But for now, I'm going to place a couple of drinks and snack machines out here near the 2 wards. If you come in to visit, then you can grab yourself some cheesy gubbins from the snack machine. I've heard that cheesy gubbins, if it's your love, yes, they are in 2 Point Campus. I do believe I saw that on the trailer. Fantastic to see. It would not be a 2 Point game without your cheesy gubbins from the snack vending machine. At the moment, the hospital isn't covering its costs, so I think we may have to think about sacking a janitor and looking at it. We can't sack Eric, even though he is the lowest rated out of everyone because he's the only one who can remove ghosts. That's a qualification we certainly need, especially when one might be rolling around hospital later after we had a death. I don't want to have to get rid of Joanna Compost, I remember from towards the start of the hospital, but we cannot get rid of Kate McGuffin. Absolutely maxed out with the rating there. It looks like we're going to have to get rid of Joanna, a real shame. Joanna Compost, and she's watering the plant. Maybe she can add a bit of herself into there to help it grow. I've got a name put in. So funny. So funny. I'm sure we're all laughing. We have earned 1 million. That's a career goal. Fantastic for ourselves there. Make the hospital more attractive by placing plants and decorative items. Thank you so much for the advice. Not much more I can do at the moment when the only thing I've got is a single plant, benches and a leaflet stand. But we are going to employ yet another doctor. Probably not what I should be doing when we're losing more and more money. But why not throw them straight into a GP office? And Vladimir Force, I seem to have picked up a doctor when it looks like we do potentially need a nurse. Clint Fidget, one of our senior nurses. We are not going to throw him inside the GP office. That doesn't particularly help. I'm sure he's not particularly happy with being placed in there. He's currently on a break, and he's dancing straight back into the staff room. We're going to place him into the ward because at the moment we do actually need a couple more people working in the wards. They're not exactly full in terms of hospital beds, and there are quite a lot of people waiting, so we need to be more efficient with them, and we're going to drop Vladimir Force into our newly built GP office after it was knocked down to remove Sally Quack, who has resigned. We've got a janitor watering the plant over there. We pretty much finished sprucing up the hospital. I'm just trying to combat this issue we have with the hospital value. I think we've employed too many people, and by doing so, we're not even making a profit, and we're not even making a turnover at the moment. We are losing money, so we do need to try and combat that. The other two challenges were relatively easy. They're already completed. They were completed quite a while back, so hopefully we'll be able to get this sorted fairly soon. Thankfully, we are in November at the moment. We are reaching the yearly awards season. That's going to allow ourselves to hopefully earn some more money. The health inspector is arriving in under 7 days, and we're going to look at our finances at the moment. You can see on the bottom corner on that graph, the red represents the profit and loss. I'll drop that back on for you. You can see we've absolutely plummeted since May, June time. We really need to combat that at the moment. Patients for the ward are arriving. We've taken an influx of them. The reason being that if we do manage to actually complete the challenge and cure all of them, we are going to be gaining quite a lot of money as a reward. We need as much as we can get at the moment. We are lower in terms of a hospital value than we were to start off today's video. Down to, well, it was down in the 300,000. Now we're up to 416. So clearly we're starting to improve a little bit. You can see we're already getting a couple of our patients who needed to be treated to complete our challenge into the ward beds already. The health inspector has arrived, visiting a GP's office. Good to see. Hopefully they'll give us a good rating like they did towards the start of today's video. We're also going to be having a look at what else we need to do. To be honest, not too much else. I do need to, though, have a look at janitors. We just have too many, and I think it's going to have to be Joanna Compost. I don't want to get rid of her, but it's just going to have to happen. I'm sorry, Joanna, but you're going to have to go, because 3 janitors for a hospital this size, we don't really need that many. And oh, there's a ghost going round. Fantastic. Exactly what we wanted in our hospital. A ghost. And you can see it's starting to cause a bit of anarchy at the moment. Someone's walked out the ward, stood there waiting to realise, and just walking along. Completely normal, mate. Completely normal. You're used to it. But the guy with the light bulb on his head is more concerned about the ghost than the light bulb on his head. Totally normal. Even our own doctor is running away. I'm sure, if you'd have potentially got the diagnosis a bit quicker, we could have saved them. But yeah, get a move on, mate. Eric Macadam, we need to pick him up, and he's the guy who can clean up ghosts. And typical, the ghosts have disappeared as soon as we pick him up, and now it is the yearly award ceremony. Let's see how many we can take. And first up, it is the Doctor of the Year. Do we have the Doctor of the Year? Let's open the envelope. Yes, we do. Raymond Eastgate takes it And we get a small prize to go with that too. Next up, it is Nurse of the Year. Can we make it 2 from 2 to start off the award ceremony? Yes, we can. Clint Fidget takes it. Fantastic work from him. Another small prize for the hospital there too. Next up, Janitor of the Year. I'm not entirely sure we'll be able to get this one. Opening the envelope. And it's a shame. Jumbo Megacorp take that. Bit of frustration there. What about Assistant of the Year? Working hard at the reception desk. There's been 2 of them, so they haven't had to work particularly hard. And Jumbo Megacorp also take that one too. Next, Employer of the Year. Who's that going to go to? Can we make it 3? Yes, we can! As we Hogsport take that on 2 Point Foundation, making it 3 from 5 so far. No deaths, we won't take that one. You can see the ghost roaming around the hospital just before the award ceremony, and the Orb Foundation take that. Fantastic work from them. Next up, the most prestigious hospital. Are we going to take that award? Yes, we are! Absolutely fantastic. At the moment, we're now up to 4. Can we get the Patient's Choice Award? Certainly an important one. Will people come to ourselves for treatment over at the hospital? Let's see. Yes, they will. So a total of 5 from 8. Pretty fantastic there for ourselves then. We missed out on Janitor of the Year, Assistant of the Year, and the No Deaths Award, so managed to get some of the important ones. Apart from no deaths, that's quite important, but never mind. In terms of hospital value, we currently sit down there in 4th. Yearly profits down there in 5th. So we're struggling on the economic and finance side of it. However, in cure rate, we do lead. In reputation, we do lead. We currently sit in cures per year down in 4th. While in staff morale, we are currently in 2nd. So we're doing pretty solid. Finances are on the up. You can see there on the graph that they have dipped a little bit since mid-November, but they're still quite high, and we should be able to make it a 3-star hospital fairly soon. Staff count hasn't really changed too much at all. Staff morale isn't too shabby either. And then staff energy, not too bad either. Pay satisfaction hasn't really changed. We haven't done any staff training, of course. We'll be able to unlock that later. Staff promotions, we had a couple towards the start of the year. And then staff breaks, we managed to reduce them as we've had to combat some vacancies in our officers. And I'm not going to change any of the break policies or anything like that. We're not going to tinker with them. We're going to move on to the patients. You can see at the moment, visitors-wise, that stayed pretty stable. Similarly so for reputation. No real drastic changes there. And we are not going to make any further adjustments to the hospital policy. Instead, we are going to continue along here at Hogsport. There's not much more for ourselves to do, really. Potentially add a couple of little benches, a plant or 2. Of course, we haven't unlocked much, so we can't really spruce it up that much. There aren't many different items. There isn't much variety, but we can certainly add a couple more things. You can see the ghost still roaming around. We do need to sort that. People running around causing absolute anarchy is that ghost. We're going to go for another staff promotion. Yes, I know, got to deal with that issue. It's quite frustrating. And every time I go to pick up Eric, he just seems to run away. So we'll try and combat that at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can click the ghost itself, but it doesn't particularly seem to work. I'm loving how people kind of just walk in front of him, walk for a bit, and then realise, oh, it's a ghost, and then run and scream. It's quite funny, actually. We are looking at the moment for the janitor all the way along to the end. And Eric, we are going to pick you up once again. And you're kidding me. Wow, what a joke. What a joke. The ghost has already gone. Typical. And as a result, we're going to have to wait until it reappears. Hopefully it doesn't. That'd be much easier, but quite frustrating for ourselves. Either way, we'll have to drop Eric to the floor. Gently, of course. And then move along in a second. That's quite frustrating to say the least. Current value up to 523,000, so we are making progress still, though a little bit more work to do. Inspection report is quite positive. We do still, though, have that ward patient challenge, and we have completed it. Absolutely fantastic. The last one cured with quite a bit of time left on the board, and our hospital value now up to 734,000. We're incredibly close to that 750,000 mark, and a 3-star hospital. We're certainly getting there at the moment. I do want to sort out this installation over here. It does look a bit weird, so I'm going to see what we can do. A leaflet stand in the centre of it. I don't know why I'm really trying that. You certainly can't reach that without climbing on top of the bench. But I think we're going to have to remove one of the 4 benches, make it 3, and then place the plant in the center so you can still manage to get to that. That's what we're going to do. Remove the bench facing to the ward, and you can see we've got a nice little installation over there. If you like Sonic, though, if you must have found a Sonic, then I would actually advise you should play this game right now, because they do have Sonic-themed items. You could spruce up the hospital with that. But now, we've made it a 3-star hospital. This is what it reads. I hope for your sake that you remember how you were able to concoct such a model institution, because the county will expect you to repeat this feat ad infinitum. May this free you of gumption and fill you with nerves. Yours fragrantly from Tarquin Foxbridge, the health minister. We've also unlocked the newsagent. I'm not going to add that to this hospital now, because we are set to move on to our second hospital in this series, which will be Lower Bullocks in a second. But take a look at what we have managed to build here. Absolutely fantastic. Got a couple of wards, 3 GP officers, chemists, general diagnosis rooms, of course the deluxe clinics, plenty of different things. We made a really nice small hospital. And now we can go and do the same with another hospital. Similar sized buildings, but there are going to be multiple in Lower Bullocks. And now we're going to head to the map. 3-star hospital at Hogsport. We spent quite a while there in-game, 3 years and 2 months. We're now going to drift away to our second challenge, Lower Bullocks. You're going to expand the organisation by establishing a second hospital, and straight away we are approached with a new challenge, as here in Lower Bullocks there's quite an issue. A lot of people believe they are rock stars when they are not, and that is called mock stars, and to cure that we do need psychiatrists and psychiatry rooms. You can see we've already been equipped and blessed with a GP office and a reception, so we're already off to a flying start. We do need to build a psychiatry. I'm slightly worried with the privacy of this GP office at the moment. Quite a lot of windows there, and to be honest, I wouldn't particularly want everyone staring at me if I'm walking with a light bulb on my head while I'm going into a GP office. But to be honest, it doesn't make much of a difference. You've got people with pans, light bulbs, mock stars, and bed faces walking in, so to be honest, I don't think you're any really different to other people. Either way, we are going to build our psychiatry in a second. Of course, a fresh room that we can make, and I'm going to build this over here. 3x3, the minimum room size, and to conserve space, it is going to be a 3x3 room. We're going to add in the psychiatrist armchair, some lovely red velvet there. Fantastic to see. More of actually like a shiny colour than a velvet, but a beautiful colour. And I do believe the building itself, well, not the building, the room itself, wooden flooring and wooden walls. Really nice antique feel to it. We've got the layback psychiatric couch for the patient to sit on. I don't particularly want to move the armchair itself any further forward. And we're going to add a couple of necessary accessories to the room. The filing cabinets in the corner, as we usually add. And then, of course, we can always fit in a plant in there. But first, the necessities, a bin and a fire extinguisher. The bin next to the door, and the fire extinguisher next to that in the corner. And then why not add a plant in between the 2 chairs at the back. And a nice psychiatry room has been established. Look at that, and beautiful wooden flooring and wooden walls. New technology from Bungle Technologies. We'll be able to look into that in a minute. We do need a license, a research license. We've got to build the hospital up a bit while we deal with some of the psychiatry patients from Bungle. At the moment, we do need to potentially get an assistant. Or do we have one? Oh, yes, we do have one. He's just gone for a walk away. Currently got a mock stars entering already. Look at them. They're fluorescent yellow jack suits. That made no sense. Jackets. I was going to say suits, then I want to say jackets. They're jackets. They're hard to miss, to say the least. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, Mockstar. We're going to send them to the psychiatry. We've got quite an issue because our doctor here can treat patients in the psychiatry. However, we only have one doctor, so we can only do the GP office or the psychiatrist at once. And he's now walking out the GP office to go to the psychiatrist room. So to combat that, we need to hire a fresh doctor. We're going to add them into the GP office, and then our psychiatrist specialist, considering there and cure our mock star patients. Let's watch this for the first time. You can see it's not the most exciting of animations, but you got to love it. Had a chat, and we are about to see the transformation back to a normal person. There's no mad hair, beard, or fluorescent clothing. One thing we will be able to do, actually, is change how the room looks. I'm not going to do that at this exact moment in time. It does cost a bit of kudos, and we don't want to spend all that at the moment. We'll explore that potentially in the following videos. Another thing we certainly need is a general diagnosis room. If you don't already know, that's where you head if you need some further scans and checks once you have been to the GP office for clarification potentially on an illness, disease, and so on. We need to add in the EZ scanner, and next to that, the examination table, quite a way up. You wouldn't want to fall off that onto the floor. And that'll give you an extra couple of injuries. If you're already heading to the ward for bed face, you might head to the ward for a broken arm if you're falling off that examination table. Either way, we'll nicely place that there, and I think probably move the EZ scanner a little bit to the left. We do need to sort out these windows at some point, because at the moment, you can see the general diagnosis room through the GP office. So a little bit of an issue, vice versa. Not great for privacy. We'll have to sort out that. I'm not sure how you can remove windows from rooms, so that'll be an interesting exploration in a minute. We're completing our general diagnosis room at the moment. Why not add a lightheadedness poster? We don't usually add posters to the wall, so we can have one of them in the corner, nicely completing the room. And that's our general diagnosis room, our GP office, and our psychiatry room, all nicely sorted. We do need a nurse to work in the general diagnosis room. We're going to go with Ernest Spoon. He can scoop up the patient's issues in his general diagnosis room. I've got my second name pun of the day, cracking on with them at the moment. And we are going to have a look at potentially moving our psychiatry room. A little bit of an issue, as I nearly picked up a plant from the other room. You know I'm not great at selecting rooms at the moment. We're going to try and move this across, not the armchair, the whole room across, and then we can place a chemist across to the left, as we can see right now, of our GP office. But we are going to have to move the psychiatry further back so that we can actually fit in the chemist. And, of course, the chemist is quite a pivotal part. A lot of people end up going there. Not that complicated to sort out. I love the animation, though, for the drug mixer. They are so inventive with the animations on this game. It's absolutely fantastic to see. And it's a swirly thing at the top, multicoloured with your drugs. Then you get a cup out where you swallow them all at once. It's a really fun animation. You managed to make some things that are slightly less exciting so interesting and engaging to watch. We'll place the massive drug mixer in the left hand side of the room, and then a couple of filing cabinets for the information of the patients, what medication they're going to be taking at the time, and then we'll add a bin or two over here. Well, not really two bins, that would be quite a few bins. I don't know what exactly we're doing over here. It's not exactly a landfill site, is it? And then, of course, as normal, fire extinguisher and a plant in the corner to nicely complete it all. And that is the drug mixing room. Why not add a window? Because, you know, might as well add a couple more windows. It's not a room that needs loads of privacy. You're just swallowing some tablets effectively from a massive machine, so might as well go for that. The GP's office at the moment, and I've got quite an issue with this. I need to try and remove these windows, and I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that, because I'm trying to get to a sort of selection thing when I can, but you all know that I'm not particularly fantastic with things like this, and I haven't played this game for a little while. It's been quite a while since our first installment of this series. If you guys are enjoying today's video and this 2-Point Hospital series and you want it to continue, tell me in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video, and if you want to see some more content, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. It's that big red button, hard to miss, doesn't take long. And really, it means so much to me. I put a lot of work into these videos, so if you guys can do that, it would really mean a lot. We do need to upgrade a machine for our new technology challenge. We're going to go with a drug mixer. We can upgrade that at the moment. We also need to build a ward. I'm going to do that in the next video. We've got a lot of buildings to build. Rooms to build. Also, buildings to build, so we can expand our hospital. You'll see that we've got a fairly large first first building here, and then we can expand this out to the sides. One building to the left, one building further in front, and then one building to the right, which is going to make it quite a large complex. We'll try and get some organisation in terms of wards where we're going to place all them, GP officers and so on, but that's going to take a little bit of time, seeing as we're going to have to unlock all of them, and that will cost quite a lot of money to be able to build on those building plots. I have managed to place another GP office. We're doing that, need a couple of them at least. We're probably going to need, judging on the side of the hospital, 4 or 5 even. It's where everyone goes. You know, everyone has to go to the GP office before they can get treated anywhere. So we're going to need quite a few of them as we reach the end of the hospital. Once we've expanded to multiple buildings, I am going to move the psychiatrist room over here behind the general diagnosis room. We're going to plop that over there. And then in a second, I am going to try and move our GP office actually first. I want to move this a little bit further forward, just so we've got some sort of symmetry with the way the rooms are arranged. So we're going to do exactly that here. Move that a little bit further forward, although I think that's not far enough to the right at the moment, so we'll have to sort that out in a minute. But this is sort of a rough draft at the moment. We'll polish it. We've got some nice rooms started. We'll polish it all off in the next video and nicely really get stuck into making this hospital on our first building. Some more new technology. The machine upgrade is complete, and now we are on our way to a 1-star hospital. To do that, we have to fulfill 3 challenges, and they are to get the hospital to level 6. It's currently at level 3, so that could be quite a challenge to complete. We've got to own 2 buildings. As I said, we can expand the complex. There's up to 3 buildings that we can purchase and build in the following video. What we need to do is we need to purchase one of them and construct it. And then we have to cure 3 patients in the PANS lab. Very similar concept, of course, to the deluxe clinic where we remove light bulbs from people's heads, but this time, there's a clue in the name, we are removing pans from people's heads. I'm really excited to see the weird and wonderful animation of the pan removing machine, the pan extractor, in the following video. That's certainly going to be interesting to watch. I also need to sort out the GP offices at the moment. I think, because I can't remove the windows, I'm going to remake them in the following video. And I'm probably going to make them smaller because we have to be efficient with space. That's quite pivotal at the moment. We don't want to end up wasting space. So what I'm probably going to do is make them to 3x3, which I think is the minimum for the GP office. But as we are approaching the end of the video now, this is pretty much where we're going to leave it. And in the next video, we'll pick this up and try and complete our first building at this hospital. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel by smashing that big red button. If you want some more 2 Point Hospital content, you can click on one of the 2 videos on the right hand side of the screen. But once again, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you all very soon with some more content.